Hello, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about challenges to the Nuclear Non-proliferation Treaty. So, the Nuclear Non-proliferation Treaty has been a cornerstone of global security for decades, but it now faces several distinct challenges that could undermine its future effectiveness. These challenges include states' continued proliferation efforts for the resurgence of nationalism worldwide, increasing competition among the great nuclear powers, the spread of nuclear technology, and the growing burden of the International Atomic Energy Agency and the growing polarization among the nuclear non-proliferation treaty member states. Understanding the potential impact of each of these challenges is crucial for preserving the integrity of the non-proliferation regime. States continuing proliferation efforts. The first one is North Korea. Despite the failed negotiations with the United States in 2019, North Korea has continued to develop its nuclear delivery vehicles, including submarine launched ballistic missiles and short range missiles, posing a threat to its regional rivals. The second one is Iran. So after the U.S. Withdrawal from the JCPOA in 2018, Iran has resumed its uranium enrichment program, restarted research on advanced certificates, and um, uh, expanded its stockpile of nuclear fuel, significantly reducing the time it would need to produce enough weapon grade fuel for a nuclear weapon. And the next one is South Asia. Both Pakistan and India are continuing to produce nuclear weapon related materials, develop delivery systems, and deploy nuclear weapon, further intensifying their nuclear competition in the region. So, the global resurgence of nationalism. So there is a nationalism backlash, with nationalism is on the rise globally, with leaders in the U.S., Europe, and Asia adopting more isolationist and anti-foreign policies. This could lead to increased opposition to non-proliferation obligations, as nationalist leaders may be unwilling to rely on extended deterrence um, from security patrons. The next one is escalating tension. So, the resurgence of nationalism has already led to heightened tension between states, such as the trade dispute between the US and China and the export controls imposed by Japan on South Korea. Such nationalistic actions could further complicate international cooperation on non proliferation efforts. The competition among the great powers. So, the increased competition between the US, Russia, and China could lead to mismatches in their intentions and efforts, rendering sanctions against proliferators less effective. For example, China and Russia have continued to engage with Iran despite US sanctions. Similarly, China's tacit consent to North Korea's sanctions evasion has undermined the efficiency of the international sanctions regime against Pyongyang nuclear program. And the intensifying great power competition in areas such as the military, economy, and technology could further undermine international cooperation on non-proliferation as the major powers prioritize their own strategic interests over collective security. The growing polarization among NPT member states. So many nuclear weapon states are frustrated by the lack of progress towards nuclear disarmament, as some nuclear weapon states modernize their arsenals with new capabilities. The growing concern about the humanitarian consequences of nuclear weapon use has led to the humanitarian pledge and the a treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons, further polarizing the NPT member states. And also fairness of demands. Middle ground states with advanced nuclear technology are increasingly demanding greater access to nuclear technology for peaceful purposes and the freedom to share such technology as guaranteed by the NPT. Um, the spread of nuclear technology and burdens on the IAEA. Growing workload. The number of nuclear facilities and significant quantities of nuclear material under the IAEA safeguards has increased significantly since 2010, leading to the greater workload for such inspectors and analysts. Insufficient funding. Despite the growing need for safeguards, the IAEA's budget has only risen by around 6% since 2010, straining the agency's resources and potentially reducing the effectiveness on its monitoring activities. The IAEA is seeking more cost-effective means of safeguarding, such as remote monitoring through surveillance cameras, but the burden is unlikely to decrease as the number of nuclear facilities continues to grow. Thank you for watching. Here are the references. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.